Spilling Ink is brought to you by Book Branders, your self-publishing concierge. Hello everybody, it is Jason again, your favorite host with Spilling Ink, the talk show that takes you behind the book to meet the authors and artists in the publishing industry. I am here at the East Midwest Comic-Con in beautiful Chicago, and I am here with Eva Elasigue. Elasigue? I said I wasn't gonna butcher it, and I did anyway. How are you doing today?
Really well.
Excellent. And this is not your first Comic-Con, right?
No, I've been to Rose City before. Rose City was one of my Comic-Con tables.
Okay, wonderful. And you speak at panels as well, is that right?
Yeah, mainly at science fiction book conventions, such as NorwestCon, but also the World Science Fiction Convention where the Hugos are held. Okay. I've been a presenter and a reader there.
That is fantastic.
It has
fantastic.
been.
That's awesome. And you're here with your own book, the Bones of Starlight series, Fire Within. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. It's set in an intergalactic imperial universe where humans coexist with certain fantasy aliens, such as dragons. Dragons are aliens in this universe.
Okay.
As well as other non-human sentients. And some hidden enemies come forth and contact the scion of the ruling line of this human-led imperium. And things begin to change.
So now, how long have you been writing this series?
It's been about 5 years now that the second book is done.
Are you finding some success with it?
People continue being interested and doors open, so I'm really happy with the way the work thrives.
Wonderful. Now, are you independently published, or are you with a publisher, or?
I went an interesting route. Once I reached a certain length, I decided to start serializing online. So I used Creative Commons licensing. My Creative Commons license is BYNC, which means that the work can be shared, but no derivative for commercial distribution unless contacted with me for, we could cross-market, we could come up with a licensing strategy, but it's a flexible rights structure that makes my story available online.
Interesting. Now, and what site are you using to host that, to facilitate that?
I run bonesofstarlight.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It has its own home, and however that may continue to exist in perpetuity, I'm not totally sure, but it could do that. I have my own separate author site, and then the story could still remain available online under shared rights.
So you can read the story for free then online?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's there in postings. So if someone likes to read postings for the length of a book, they actually can. And I know that's a different kind of readership. I've been a big webcomics fan for a long time, so I know a little bit what that's like. I post twice a week with content or updates.
We just had a gentleman that we spoke to not long ago who was talking about cryptocurrency and blockchains and how that might be the future for independent artists, is serializing the works and selling it somehow using cryptocurrency. I don't understand any of that, but it kind of seems like you might be in that same boat a little bit, except for you're not charging for it.
Well, I've heard of this monetizing strategy, and it does sound interesting. A little bit like some return when people give your work something like a Facebook like. Yeah. There's a crypto investment there. That's an interesting thought. It's a little bit like running ads.
Okay.
So there's the host gets something back for the people that are viewing the site. However, I'm finding it to be a satisfying return in the way that webcomic creators also use their work and offer the main body of their work for free, in that their loyal fans will pick up a physical copy to share with people, and even merchandise, and remain with the free content however they like to experience it.
It sounds like you care more about kind of sharing the story than you do necessarily about selling the books.
No, well, the return does motivate me. It helps. It is. I do feel the bottom line, and I act accordingly, but not in ways that feel unnatural to me.
Well, that's important.
I do like to build relationship with my creative audience, in the sense that they'll be able to really get what I'm making for them.
I like that. And before we were on camera, I was talking about your beautiful cover, and you said that this was actually painted by someone for you, for the project, or?
No, actually, I knew of Leo Shalat's work through the art world of Seattle, different gallery spaces where his work was present, and then we ended up meeting in a gathering, a medium-sized gathering. And more I thought that this style of calligraphy that doesn't belong to any known language and takes on sort of symbolic forms would really suit the alternate universe setting and tone of this saga that I'm writing. So we got to talking, and these are pieces of his that he's already created. We went through his catalog, and these have a resonance with the content of each volume, and they're chosen to carry the tone on the cover. So he's got prints available independently, and we could market these things together. I could have some of his things at this table to go with the story, because it does, in a way. And then my book can be available as a different take on his artwork, a different vehicle for that artwork.
Neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, and those are just gorgeous covers. That's really fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, his imagine that artwork on a wall,
I can
the
imagine
size
it.
of your room.
I can imagine. Now, is it?
That's really how it's done.
Is this the full piece, or does it continue into a circle?
This actually does have the remaining parts
cool.
of the piece on the inside.
That's awesome.
So there is still a little bit missing right here.
Okay.
So it's not the total piece, although it's enough for a dartboard.
Yeah.
or a crystal grid. Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, who printed the hardcovers?
The Lightning Source Ingram Spark
Lightning Source.
program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And we recommend them above all others. So.
They've really taken care of my distribution. Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Online channels, bookstores, some global reach as well. People have bought it in Europe, and I've seen that it was printed in London and sent to them.
It's always satisfying, isn't it, when you see that pop up and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Somebody across the pond is reading that. Now, today you were on a little adventure of your own today, and you've got some flyers that you brought back with you. Can you tell us a little bit about what you did today?
Absolutely. This was really intriguing. There's a Kickstarter program out for this exhibit at University of Chicago, and that's how I heard about it, through my social media friendship with Ada Palmer. And the exhibit is about censorship. It's a really big topic. It goes from religious to governmental to cultural and copyright. And these are a few materials that Cory Doctorow made sure were a part of the exhibit. And it's from the Comic Book Defense League.
Okay.
So there are a lot of comics that are banned for various reasons, and that is a form of censorship. And however people might feel about it, we here are definitely affected by those attitudes regarding that type of reaction to creative works.
And throughout history, different forms of art have been banned by the powers that be because they feel like they're obscene or it's not sending the message that they want to be sent. And I am very anti-censorship in all things, but especially when it comes to fiction, because it is art, and we're allowed to make decisions for ourselves and to experience things for ourselves. We don't need a governing body telling us, no, you can't experience that particular piece of art. I think that idea is ridiculous.
The imagination is an important testing ground for experience.
It really is. It really is. So, you are working on the second book right now, or is it already finished?
It's coming out next month.
It's coming out next month? Sweet. So, will we be able to get that on your website?
It would be easier to find it online or order through your local bookstore.
Okay.
Yeah. On the release date, it'll be available for order.
Fantastic. And so, book 1 is Fire Within, and that's available right now. And then book 2 is Abyss Surrounding, and you said next month. Is there a specific date yet?
11/11,
11/11?
which is Veterans Day, is it not?
Oh, gosh, I'm terrible with my holidays, but it's a lucky number, right? 11/11, so that's good, isn't it? I'm sorry, veterans.
The timing
I love
was
you guys,
just
but
right.
I just don't know that date. So, well, what can you tell any young authors out there that might want to get into the writing business? Have you had a positive experience with it?
It has really transformed my inner life. I feel a lot of motivation for the things that I choose to do, and I feel more clear in thought. So I think when it comes to the reasons why people want to do it and how, it's going to be highly individual. For me, I identified the next step and what would make further creation possible, and went that way. And so far, it's continued to work.
Now, are you at this convention, because there's a lot of cool people here this weekend, are you setting out to meet any of the celebrity guests that are coming or anything like that?
I went to Ace Comic-Con in Seattle, and that's how I got a little bit clued into joining in here. Another author I know, David Boop, we've known each other through the science fiction circuit, and he guested with a table and a panel at Ace in Seattle. And so he sort of tipped the scales in that favor. I went and checked it out, and I also brought a copy of the old version of Fire Within.
Is that the version that's over there?
It looks like that, but different.
Okay.
With a slightly different title.
Okay.
I brought a copy of the old version to Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, we met up for a photo op.
Awesome.
And so inside of that, I wrote some notes, things like, oh, there's going to be more coming out. The new version will be out this summer. The second one will be out in fall. And so he's going to be here. When I looked up Ace to see if I could get involved with a following convention,
Yeah.
and he's also here.
He's right over there.
Right over here, which is cool. Good position. So I'll bring him one of these.
That's awesome.
Just follow up on that.
That is so cool.
Follow through.
Well, Eva, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. It was good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck this weekend.
Spilling ink.